In each of the 4 sessions of this program, we will introduce a different way to strengthen the bond between you and your child. We call these segments Building the Bond. Before we get into the session's bonding method, I'd like to talk about why bonding with our child is so important in the first place. So, what is a parent child bond? With all the effort we put into protecting our children and keeping them out of trouble, we sometimes forget how much our children need to feel happy when they are around us. What do you think it means to build a bond or bond with your child? The relationship you build with your child is very special for you and your child. When your bond is a solid one based on love, having fun together, and respecting one another, parenting can bring you so much joy, more powerful than any job in the world. A strong bond also gives you a solid foundation to grow upon. A strong bond also makes it easier for you to manage your child. When your child feels loved and liked by you and enjoys being around you, they will become more willing to listen to you, to obey your rules, and to try to please you. Also, your child is more likely to talk to you about their problems, which becomes especially important to them as they grow older. Then you will become more powerful influence in the tough decisions that they will have to make as a teen. How do we build a strong bond or attachment with our children? We love, nurture, and connect with them by doing things like playing together, laughing together, hugging, kissing, holding, cuddling with your child, talking to them or reading, protecting them, and then soothing them and calming them when they are scared. For something to think about, when is the right time to begin bonding with your child? Let's see a video that may help answer that question.
Spending time with your baby is one of the real joys of parenthood, but it does much more. When you connect with your baby in a positive way, through touch or words or a loving face, when you do things to care for your baby or protect your precious child, when you laugh or play together or help your child learn, you are also building a bond that will serve you both well for years to come. Like the cement that holds two bricks together, a bond between a parent or other caregiver and a child will make the relationship stronger and hold it together when things get tough. And because we humans are much more than just bricks and mortar, this bond will also help the child feel secure and the adult feel satisfied. In fact, there's a lot of research that shows that when a child attaches to a loving adult, they are much more likely to survive and thrive. While it is never too late to develop this bond with your child, the sooner you start, the better. One of the best ways to develop a bond is by being the one to soothe your child when she is hurting or in discomfort. How can you tell when your child needs comforting or help? With older children, they sometimes may tell you,
I'm hungry.
Dinner's going to be ready in an hour, but you can have some strawberries.
Of course, babies don't have the language skills yet to tell you what they need, so they have developed an ingenious way to get your attention so you can help them. A baby's cry is an amazing adaptation that has enabled our species to survive for thousands and thousands of years. It lets us know that something is wrong and needs taken care of. The only problem is that it doesn't tell us exactly what is wrong. That's where parents and other caregivers have to be a bit of a detective.
Sounds like Riley needs something.
She just ate. I know she isn't hungry. Do you want me to go check on her?
Thanks, but I got it.
As Liz checks to see what might be bothering her daughter, her own mother is standing by to help if needed, being careful not to take over or become critical. What Liz needs, like any young mother, is encouragement, support, and room to make a few mistakes of her own as she learns what her daughter's different cries mean and how to soothe them.
Mom, I've checked everything and she's still upset.
Well, sometimes babies are a mystery. But whenever you were upset and I couldn't figure out what's wrong, something that helped would be to hold you close and sing while rocking you. The combination of my voice, touch, and movement seem to soothe you. Does Riley have a favorite song?
Maybe. Every time I see you looking my way, Riley, Riley, can you feel my heartbeat in my arms or dancing around the kitchen? Riley, Riley, can you feel my heartbeat when you move up closer to me? I get a feeling that's woo-woo-woo-wee. Can you feel the pounding of my heartbeat? 'Cause you're the one I love. 'Cause you're the one I love.
Responding to a baby's needs is an important way that parents can begin building the bond with their child very early on. How did the baby tell her mother that she needed something? Well, she cried. Crying means that the baby needs you. Sometimes your baby will need to be fed, sometimes her diaper will need to be changed, sometimes she will be hot or cold, sometimes her tummy will hurt and she will need to be rocked, patted, or burped. Sometimes she will be colicky and she will need you to follow your doctor's suggestions for helping her with it. Sometimes she may want you to talk to her or play games with her. So what did the mother and grandmother do to respond to her baby's needs? She picked her up and held her, checked to make sure she wasn't wet, hungry, too hot, or too cold or sick. She talked to her and sang to her while rocking her. Your bond with your child will grow when your child knows you're responding to her needs. All of the following develop from this also. As you bond with your baby, they will cry less, learn how to self-soothe, calm down more quickly, and they'll start talking to you. So when your baby is crying, but they are not in pain, in need of a diaper change, too hot or too cold, or too colicky, what can you do to respond to their needs? There are gentle touches, hugs and kisses, talking to her, and then singing or rocking her or dancing. So remember, it is never too soon or too late to work on this bond. Each time you share a positive moment with your child or infant, you strengthen that bond just a little, until eventually that bond is strong as mortar. The first part of my paper, I talked about parenting styles. A parenting style that might diminish a bond with your child is an authoritarian parenting style. However, this style might not be seen with a lot of parents. However, this style has high demands and low responsiveness. There are so many expectations from the parents that the child might not even want to be around them, and there might not be a future with the parents and children. Which leads into the next part of my paper I talked about was a relationship between a parent and child. As I said in the slideshow, it never is too early or to start to create that bond with your child. Starting early will help that relationship grow and what it looks like into the future. Then the last topic I chose for my paper was attachment. We all know how much we have talked about attachment and how important it is between a parent and a child right in the beginning of their relationship. But building a bond with your child goes right into what attachment is. Building that bond with your child early on will lead to having a relationship with your child and parenting the child with communication and trust.